Is this thing on? All right, let's do it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Menifee Valley. We are a religious science community based on the teachings of Dr. Ernest Holmes. In 1926, after studying multiple religions, Dr. Holmes wrote The Science of Mind. That book, along with metaphysical theories like the power of positive thinking and the law of attraction, is what we base our philosophy on. If you have any desire to learn more, talk to any of the ministers or practitioners in attendance. Matter of fact, raise your hands, guys, so people can see who you are. Oh, there you go, right there and over there. Oh. All right, back to the video and a little bit of our history. Center for Spiritual Living Menifee Valley, or CSLMV as we like to call it, started in 1974. Since then, we've gone by many names, including the Church of Today, Sun City Church of Religious Science, Sun City Center for Spiritual Living, and Center for Spiritual Living Menifee. But back in 1974, we were actually called the First Church of Religious Science of Sun City. A minister by the name of Dr. J. Paul Featherstone used to run a center down in Vista, California, and decided that the Sun City area needed this teaching. So he would do his service in the morning in Vista and then travel all the way up to Sun City to do his service in the afternoon here. It started out very small, and for many years the congregation was meeting in the Sun City Civic Center. Say that 3 times fast. As they grew out of that little rental space, it was time to get a place of their own. Thus the seed was planted for the wonderful building you are sitting in now. In 1978, this lot was donated to us by the Sun City Bible Church next door, and the plans started getting drawn. In 1991, they finally had a groundbreaking ceremony and the work started. During that time, there were some challenges, but eventually it was meant to be. The building was fully completed in 1994. Look at those happy members. Now, a little FYI, some of this center was built with actual members. See, they had a vision, a passion, if you will. They knew their truth and they worked to make it so. We could all learn a lot from those members. So after the building was completed, time moved on, the membership grew, and various members, practitioners, and ministers came and went. Fast forward to the present day. And now here we are, 45 years later, sitting in this amazing building, remembering and honoring the people from our past that made this all possible, and celebrating 45 years of change, growth, and love. It truly is amazing, and we are all so grateful for their and our roles in it. Speaking of roles, we'd like to take a moment to introduce the current leadership of our beloved community. These are the folks that keep this center running like a well-oiled machine from behind the scenes. They are the equivalent to a board of directors. Some of them donate their time, talents, and expertise to make CSLMV the beloved community that it is. They make up our C.O.R.E Council. C.O.R.E stands for Consciousness of Reality Evolving, and they make the decisions, financial and otherwise, that affect the entirety of the center. This is John. He's got a heck of a handshake and is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. This is Darla May. She's a retired teacher and keeps us all in line. There will be no chewing gum during the C.O.R.E Council meeting. And she's the great bringer of water and the disposer of clutter. Now Eloise, she came from Paradise. No, seriously, she moved here from Paradise, California. Her chanting is beautiful, and she's amazing at playing Tibetan singing bowls. Now this handsome guy is Dave. He's an amazing guitar player, He's a Gemini. He likes walks on the beach.
Dave, stay on topic!
Sorry. And this is White Feather. Man, you should hear him play the flute. It will transcend you into another world. It is incredibly soothing. And you have never met a gentler, kinder, and more helpful soul than Reverend Ann. She's also the one who does all the office work. The tedious, boring office work. And on top of that, she's one of the longest attending members of the center. So she's also our resident historian. And last but certainly not least, this dashing gentleman is Reverend Dr. Michael J. Kearney, and he is our spiritual leader. We pulled him out of his joyful retirement and have not let him go since. He has done amazing things at CSLMV, and we are all very excited for the future with him as the captain of our metaphorical starship Enterprise.
And boldly taking us where no humans have gone before.
Okay, back on topic. Now that I've introduced you all to the core council and ministers, we asked them some questions, and they're going to answer in their own words. So pay attention because there will be a quiz. No, really, we're going to quiz you after this. So here they are.
My name is John Overton, and I am a member of the CORE Council.
My name is Eloise Newell, and I am a treasurer of the CORE Council, and I am a practitioner in the Center for Spiritual Living, Menifee Valley.
Hi, my name's Darla May, and I'm Secretary of the CORE Council.
My name is Dave Minyard, and I am the Vice-president of the CORE Council for CSLMV.
I am White Feather, and I am CSL's CORE Council President.
My name is Reverend Ann Green. I'm the Associate Minister here at Center for Spiritual Living, Menifee Valley.
Hi, I'm Reverend Dr. Michael Kearney at the Center for Spiritual Living, Menifee Valley. I am the Spiritual Director.
If I could be any animal that I would like to be, I would choose wolf. Wolves have been a part of my life since I was a child, and they also are my totem animal. I love that they are loyal, that they are strong, and that they have wisdom.
My favorite animal is a cat. And the reason is I lost my Cassie. I had her for 12 years, and she was like me. She was independent and she was free.
I would love to be a red-tailed hawk. It is my spirit totem.
My favorite character is a fictional character, Tigger, and I love the way that he bounces.
The wolf is my favorite animal. It's an animal spirit guide, and the wolf is wisdom.
Probably a sloth. Well, because clearly sloths have it pretty good.
My favorite animal is a cat. And if I could be a cat, I would love that because they're very independent. They do just what they want to do, and they don't care what anybody else does. So I would like to be a cat.
I was really into dolls, and I had a doll carriage and a doll, and those were my favorites.
My favorite toy growing up was a tricycle in a little red wagon, and I would drive it around the block, acting as if I was hauling large loads across the country.
My favorite toy growing up was a doll that I received for my birthday when I was 10 years old, and I don't remember a whole lot about her except that I really, really liked her, and I kept her for many years.
Probably my He-Man figures. There was a figure called Many Faces, Man-E Faces, and you could turn his head depending on his mood. He would be smiling or angry or something like that. So yeah.
One of my favorite toys of all times as a child was my Robbie the Robot.
My favorite toy growing up was a little red flower wagon. Pulled that thing all over the neighborhood.
I loved my bicycle growing up. I started riding a bicycle when I was about 5 years old, and I liked it because I could go as far as I wanted. Living in a small town in Minnesota, it was my wheels to freedom, and I continue that theme to this day.
The best piece of advice was definitely something my dad taught me, and I found out later in life that it was a quote from Abraham Lincoln, but it is, "This too shall pass."
Some of the best advice that I have received is to be a kind soul.
Go west, young woman. I came from originally Hartford and Connecticut, and then to Chicago, and then to California.
The best advice I've ever received is to trust my inner self.
The best piece of advice that I've ever received is the science of mind philosophy, which is your thoughts become your words become your actions become your destiny. And I have found in my experience with spirit is the more I trust God and don't try and control anything, the happier, more joyful I am.
The best advice that I've received growing up was from my father, who always said, be kind and treat people as your equal.
The best piece of advice I ever received was to check out the religious science church nearby. And I did, and I'm so glad I did.
My favorite color is blue.
My favorite color is black.
My favorite color is actually the colors of the rainbow, and if I had to choose specifically from that, I would narrow it down to green because it represents the colors of the heart, and the heart is healing and loving, and I think that's what life is about.
My favorite color is blue, specifically aqua blue. I just love that color and decided that many years ago that was my favorite color, and it still is today.
My favorite color is pink and various shades of pink into lilac and lavender. It blends.
My favorite color is any shade of blue.
Favorite color is definitely black and red. And before you say those two colors, black is technically not a color, so I'm cool by saying black and red.
The one thing that a lot of people don't know about me is that during the years that my children were growing up, I sang with Sweet Adelines. I was in that group for about 25 years, and I sang in a chorus, and I also sang in several different quartets from time to time. The best quartet I ever sang in came in 8th place in international competition one year. Something I'm very proud of.
I am a shamanic healer and sound practitioner.
Most people don't know that I was a professional poker player for 27 years.
Okay, one thing people don't know about me is that I am kind of a private person, even though I don't tend to be outwardly.
The thing that most people don't know about me is probably that I pulled 3 girls out of a burning vehicle after a car accident years ago.
People don't know that I've had a really interesting life, and one of the things people don't know about me is that I used to race motorcycles and cars and snowmobiles. And besides that, I did a stint as a reserve police officer for years because I have this real sense of law and order. So, of course, that's what you don't know about me thus far.
Most people don't know this, but I really am an introvert.
All right, we hope you paid attention. Now that you've got to know a little bit about our current leadership, we'd like to let some former and current members share their own experiences. See, life happens, so sometimes members move away or decide to travel, but we keep in touch with them. So we reached out to current and former members, practitioners, and leadership to give a first-hand view of their time here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Menifee Valley. Enjoy! The following members were not paid for their participation in this video.
Well, I moved to Sun City, California in about 15 years ago, and one of the first things that I noticed was the billboard out in front of this strange-looking building, and there was always a really interesting statement on there, and it called me. And so Janet, my friend from where I was living, she came with me, and we came in and sat there and kind of just were shy and what have you, but we really did enjoy it. At that time, there were 4 or 5 women that were preaching every other Sunday, and it was great, and they had really good music, and we just couldn't believe it. We talked about it all week after we had gone through the Sunday session. Okay.
I'm Kara, and I've been coming to the Center for Spiritual Living, Menifee Valley, for the past 5 years. I know that a lot of people say this, but as soon as I walked through those doors, I felt nothing but love and acceptance, and I almost immediately felt like this was my spiritual home. Before this, I had no knowledge of the Science of Mind teaching, and I will be forever grateful to Reverend Steve, who was my first teacher of this philosophy. This teaching has changed my life for the better in so many ways, and I'm so thankful to this community and everything that I've learned so far. So happy 45th. I'm so glad that I'm able to be a part of this spiritual community.
Hi, I'm Linda Miller, and I love Menifee Valley Center for Spiritual Learning. I love it. I was not going to a church, and when my husband died, I just needed something, and I live very close, so I came over here. I was greeted by great, big, warm, friendly hugs, and I was at home immediately. I loved it all. People have been great to me. And I need this philosophy drilled into my head so they can remind me over and over. My friend Janet used to say, delete, 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 every time I'd say something negative. But I need that, and I love it, and I'll be here for another 45 years.
So I wanted to just say a little bit about the ministry at CSL Menifee Valley. Actually choosing a minister is such a difficult task, and I actually participated in a couple of those. The first one was when we went from the multiple practitioners delivering service to hiring Reverend Steve. And I always think about Reverend Steve coming in here, and he was he's just not what you would have pictured as a minister with his long hair and what have you. But he had a great message that he delivered, and he had a great impact on my life and on people that I care about, on their lives as well. He was one heck of a coach and counselor, so that's my memory of Reverend Steve. I'd also like to mention Reverend Michael and remembering the what we went through to bring him here to the church. And oh, what a lucky find that was, and how very, very lucky the folks at CSL have been to have him come here and to breathe some life into this place. I'm grateful every day, even though I'm not attending here anymore. I'm grateful every day that he created this beloved community that's now known as CSLMV. And I miss you guys a lot. I live in another community. I attend another church, but it's just not the same.
Happy anniversary, CSL Menifee Valley. This is Reverend Chaplain Caroline Flanders wishing you another 45 years of prosperity and success.
My name is Alana Shelley. I've been coming to this Center for Spiritual Living in Menifee for 9 years. I've really enjoyed the growth and the camaraderie of everybody here. It's been an awesome experience, and it's a welcoming and all-inclusive center where everyone is welcome, regardless of gender, anything else. Everybody, all beliefs, all religions are welcome here. It's just a welcoming, very welcoming place. And I just enjoyed my time here.
Hi, I'm Jackie, and I just want to express my gratitude for our church, the Center for Spiritual Living Menifee Valley. I've been with the church for a little over 2 years, going on 3, and I absolutely love this place. The membership is family. They're so loving, and it's just wonderful to be here, and I am grateful for all the messages and the lessons and the books that I've gotten to read from coming here, and the fellowship and the services and the studies that I've attended, and just everything about the church is just wonderful. So I'm so happy to celebrate our 45th anniversary in this valley, and thank you everybody who has contributed to the well-being of this church. Love you. Thank you.
My favorite memory so far at CSLMV would probably have to be back in 2015 when I headed my very first committee doing a 3-night haunted house. I had a lot of volunteers, and at first some of them may have been a little bit trepidatious about the whole idea, but eventually everybody just let their inner child come out and play, and we had such a good time. We had kids games and a walk through haunted maze, and everybody just had so much fun for the 5 days that we set up, and it was just a blast, and that's probably been my favorite memory thus far.
So one of the favorite things that I did at the church was we were complaining for a long time about the doors getting into the church. And I volunteered to take on that project of having the doors replaced, and we did it. We did all kinds of different money activities or money collections and what have you. But we also had a garage sale out in the parking lot, and it was just a really good time. And we made about half of the money that we needed for the doors. And then the miracle happened, and one of our church members matched what we had, and we were able to get those doors. And so that's really one of my favorite memories of doing something here.
Please share that what I have is a heart full of remembrances and love for the most wonderful people/congregation and the privilege of knowing and serving them in the 7 best years of my life. Peace, love, and blessing to you, and pass on my love to those I know and may not know in the present congregation. Reverend Dr. Casey Greiba.
Dear CSLMV, unfortunately I'm unable to attend this event at this time, but wanted to thank you for your invitation. I was ordained at CSLMV and enjoyed my 4 years helping to build consciousness at the center and enjoyed my time tremendously. What I enjoyed most was the creation of the band Insight. We made and played some of the best music of my life with our group of congregational players. I miss you all and I am knowing the best for all of you. Blessings on another 45 great years of building community. Much love, and so it is. Blessings, Reverend Stephen Van Meter.
Congregants, ministers, and Board of Trustees for the Center for Spiritual Living, Menifee Valley. Dear ones, congratulations. 45 years is quite an accomplishment. I want you to know that the evolution and transformation of our teaching is due in no small part to your participation and our wonderful organization in teaching. Being a founding minister of another congregation that has selflessly given of their time, talents, and treasures, I know very well the contributions and sacrifices you have made. It is because of centers such as yours that this teaching continues to touch many people's lives and continues to flourish in our world today. It is your application of energy that has permitted this teaching to expand, and we are all very grateful. 45 years of dedication and support has placed us as an organization firmly on a foundation to bring into reality the vision and magnificence of Dr. Holmes' teaching. In the next 40, we will exponentially expand into an area of life that will see this world truly become one that works for everyone. Your commitment, dedication, and sacred service have provided the world with the potential and the possibility to manifest this world. Thank you. Please know that you are recognized, valued, honored, and loved. Keep your banner high and your vision higher. Blessings. Reverend Dr. Ken Gordon, Spiritual Leader, Centers for Spiritual Living.
Wow, some of those experiences are impressive. As current members of CSLMV, we cherish those stories, and we are so grateful that this center has impacted so many lives over our 45-year history. We acknowledge that without spirit and all the amazing energies that people have brought to this very sanctuary, the center wouldn't be anywhere near the powerhouse it is today. CSLMV has been an inspiration to so many over all the years, from beautiful artwork to stained glass. To poetry, to songs written and performed here.
And so it is, and so it is.
To different musical performances. And even to tattoos. And yes, there was an actual haunted maze here as well. But just as much as the center has inspired us, our beloved community inspires us as well. The congregation at CSLMV has always stepped up and helped grow this center into the magnificent beacon of hope that it is. From the fundraisers to the concerts, classes, the workshops, and book studies. It's the members, past and present, that makes this truly a place of growth, change, and love. Besides those active and past members, we'd like to take this last part of this video to recognize the amazing volunteers who attend our regular services and events. From the moment you walk in the door for the first time and are greeted and receive your visitor pack, to the ushers that help with announcements and collections, to the people that dedicate their time for events and helping with the building and grounds, to the very important kitchen staff that always makes sure there is a hot cup of coffee or a cookie waiting for you. To all of them, we give you a very special thanks. We are lucky to have you, and we value you. Let's all give them a round of applause because they deserve it.
Brought up in the traditional mainline Christian church. In my teen years, I had decided that I was going to grow up and marry a minister. Well, 2 marriages and 5 children later proved that wasn't going to happen quite that way. I became a church dropout, an agnostic for many years. And then I found myself longing for a spiritual connection, probably after 20 years. A friend of mine who knew me pretty well said, "Why don't you check out that Church of Religious Science in Riverside?" Thought, well, why not? And so I did, and I liked it. I liked it very much. I went there for several years. Then we moved to Sun City in 1988. And my husband, Rich, was a social worker, and he was on the road a lot. He said, "There's a really interesting church over there. It's a couple of domes, and it says Church of Religious Science." So I thought, I think I'd like to check that out. It happened right around Mother's Day that year, 1991, as a matter of fact. And he asked me what I would like to have for Mother's Day, and I said, well, I think I would really like to go to that new church in Hemet. And the minute I walked in the door, I knew I was at home. And I loved it. I was extremely active in that church for about 4 years. I did all of my Science of Mind training, my practitioner training, became a practitioner in 1995. I met Reverend Dr. Casey at that church, who was serving as the interim minister. He and I clicked. We got along very well. When the 6 months was up, a new minister came in. So my job was terminated at that time. I came to Sun City because I needed to put my practitioner license somewhere. So there was a group of people who had left the Hemet church right around the time that I did, and we wanted to get together. We did. We had lunch together, had such a good time that we decided to start a study group. So we were able to locate storefront in Paris. We met on Saturday, so the people who wanted to go to church on Sunday were free to do that. And then we had reached the point where we were ready to become a pre-church. We had 40 people who were coming regularly every Saturday, and we had $3,000 in the bank, so we thought we were on good footing. Well, it turned out that one of the people who had been coming was the president at the Sun City Church, and she contacted Reverend Casey and asked him if he would come to, as their previous minister had left. So the whole study group decided to merge with the Sun City Church. So there were 40 plus of us coming in to this little church that only had about 10 people. And it was quite an influx. We were all energetic people, and poor people who were still here from the old days didn't know what hit them when we came in. And eventually we all merged together happily. And then I decided to go to ministerial school. After graduating, I became assistant minister. Then when Casey decided to retire, I became the senior minister. So I was here for several years. Then things changed. I actually went back to the Hemet Church, where I was assistant minister for Reverend Terry Masters. I was there for another 5 years. Things changed again, as they always do, and the next thing I knew, I was back in Sun City with Reverend Frank Matosa. So I've been here in this center for the last 10 years and have made so many wonderful friends, enjoyed myself in so many ways, and I'm still here, and I'm going to be here as long as I can, and so it is.
My journey into ministry began when I operated group homes for foster children in San Diego. And I did that for 20 years and then entered into the school of ministry, knowing that the work that I was doing with the children in itself was a ministry, but that I wanted to have a different education and academic background as to why and what I was doing. As I entered into the School of Ministry, the school was taking place at the Huntington Beach Church of Religious Science. And it was there that I met Reverend Ann, as she was in school a year ahead of me, and we shared classes together. After I completed the schooling and graduated, I founded a Center for Spiritual Living in downtown San Diego, which we operated for approximately 3 years before I decided to move to Palm Springs. There I was the senior minister at the center in Palm Springs for 10 years. After 10 years, I thought it would be a good time to retire, which lasted about 6 months, and then I knew that I needed to be back into ministry, being active. It was then, which is just now over 2 years, that I arrived here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Menifee Valley. And all of my previous experiences, as I entered into them, they were in need of leadership, of direction, and of growth and expansion. And I believe that they were all of that at the time of which I had moved on to my next adventure. So this is my adventure now. I am here to see, to celebrate, and to honor that this center, which is celebrating 45 years of service in the community, is now ready for its greater yet to be. And I believe that under my leadership and in coordination with Reverend Ann's leadership and the core council, that we will take this center to the next level. And for that, I am truly grateful that I have this opportunity.
Well, that about wraps up this video. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you're having an amazing time here tonight. Now it's time to get ready for the quiz. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and once again, I'd like to thank everyone involved with making this party this celebration of Center for Spiritual Living Menifee Valley's 45th anniversary such a huge success. Namaste, and so it is.